Welcome back. This is day 2 of the Slow Magic Challenge. If you did yesterday's practice, you already know that it wasn't about fixing anything. It was just noticing. Noticing where you're worshiping instant gratification, where you've bought into the myth of fast magic. Today we're going to build on that. So let's start the way that I want to start every one of these, with the actual promise of the challenge, because I think it's worth hearing again out loud before we go anywhere else. So for 12 days, we're going to interrupt the mythology of fast transformation and practice another way. One rooted in presence, participation, self-trust, and small, faithful movements that actually have the power to change us. Yesterday, we named the myth that we're disrupting, that transformation should happen quickly, dramatically, and through finding the right answer. What we're replacing it with today is this. Transformation happens through intimate, faithful participation with what is real. Not the right answer, participation. That's the whole shift. So today I want to talk about what I call the wisdom of slow momentum. Because if fast magic is forcing something into existence before it's ready, slow momentum is the exact opposite. Small, repeated, faithful movement that actually builds something that we're able to hold. So the first thing that slow momentum does that fast magic can't is that it actually changes your belief field. Belief doesn't change because you decide to think differently about yourself. It changes because you gather new evidence. Every time you do the small thing, the one load of laundry, the one page, the one honest conversation, you're handing yourself proof. Not a slogan you repeated in a mirror, but proof. And proof is what actually moves identity, because identity is built out of what you've come to believe is true about yourself through repetition. Not what you willed yourself to believe in one dramatic moment of resolve. That's kind of a big deal. The second thing that I want to notice here is that slow momentum connects you to your own capability. And I think about flow state research a lot here. So there's this well-documented idea that flow shows up most reliably when there's a close match between the challenge in front of you and the skill you actually have right now. So, right, like if this is your skill level and this is the challenge, if your skill level is up here and the challenge is down here, it's boring, right? Like, yeah, you can do it, but it's so easy, right? If your skill level is here and the challenge is way up here, that's overwhelming and feels defeating, right? Like, I'm anxious. I can't actually know if that's possible. But if your skill level is here and the challenge is here, there's a sense of, I can do this. If I rise to the challenge, it's going to require me to show up, but I'm capable. And there's a sense of entering into flow state that is triggered from that. But also, like, as you're watching yourself do the thing, you see yourself differently. You have a sense of your own capability in that. It's right at the edge of what you can rise to. And here's why that matters to us. When you meet a right-sized challenge and you discover, oh, I can actually do this, you don't just finish a task. You update your own sense of your capability. That's what a small, faithful practice does that a dramatic overhaul never can. One load of laundry a day sits right inside your flow channel. Reorganizing your entire life in a weekend does not, right? So I shared my laundry story with you all, but if you haven't seen it, it's this, basically what happened was I was overwhelmed by all the things piling up. Specifically, laundry was really bugging me, and my son and I made a commitment that he would wash one load of laundry a day and I would fold one load of laundry a day. And it sounds small, but things started to disappear and I was able to honor my own capability. And when I saw the momentum of that, things shifted in other parts of my life as well. And it's the same kind of thing here. So reorganizing your entire life in a weekend actually proves the opposite thing to your nervous system. The third thing that I want to share is that slow momentum builds real pleasure and pride. So there's actually a particular kind of satisfaction in being able to say quietly to yourself, I built that, right? Not it happened to me, not someone handed it to me, but I built that one faithful movement at a time. And that kind of pride doesn't need an audience to be real. And it's sturdier than the pride that comes from a fast win, because you know exactly what it cost you and exactly how it is yours. You feel connected to it, right? And then the fourth thing that I want to share here is that slow momentum creates integrity and faithfulness, which is really just another word for sustainability, right? Like, remember the Frankenstein method that I shared about yesterday? That was forcing something to life before its environment of belonging was actually ready to hold it. Slow momentum is the opposite process. Because it's built in alignment with your real capacity, piece by piece, it tends to hold together. So what you build slowly, you can usually keep. And one more thing that I want to name, just even briefly, when we believe that there's a single right answer out there waiting to be found, the one method, the one mentor, the one system that's finally going to solve your life, we tend to outsource our power to whoever makes the most convincing pitch that they have it. So we're actually going to spend real time on this later, but for today, I just want to let that seed sit. The answer was never something to find. It's something to build in you through practice. So tomorrow we're also going to gather live for the gathering at 10 a.m. Eastern. And there's no agenda, just space for actually being together as humans. And I'll tell you more about that when I send the practice. I'm going to send the practice tomorrow morning before the gathering. But today, I want to close by just inviting you into today's practice. I want to invite you to choose one small, right-size action, something that stretches you a little, but that you genuinely know you can complete today. Not the biggest thing on your list, the one that sits right at the edge of what you're capable of. Do it. And then pause and actually let yourself notice, I did that. The noticing is actually the practice. It's how the belief field starts to shift. So I'm excited to hear more about this, see what unfolds for you, and I will see you tomorrow.